Leaving a toxic partner often happens in stages, not one dramatic exit. And sometimes our pattern and our journey looks different than others. We have the exit. We all think that is like the main stage in the beginning to finally leave a toxic relationship. And then you go into the part of healing once you have left, which is the hardest, where the hardest work takes place. But something that has really been passionate for both Dina and I is the reinvention. Reinvention, I think, sometimes gets a little lost in the thread of healing from toxic relationships because it's also the most exciting. It's also the now what stage is coming to light when for the longest time, we're focusing on just the healing component. Some will take years to heal, and some may only take a year or two. Today, I kind of wanted to talk about my own personal journey. So, as we've shared with surviving toxic relationships, I left Rex once. My first husband, I left approximately 6 times before I got to the breaking point and couldn't take it anymore. And the healing looked different with both of those. Obviously, I had my first healing after my first marriage. I had 4 children, and I was going to school full time, and I was working. So my healing was survival. I think it just kind of all blended together because my drive was different, right? And then when I left Rex in midlife, it was so hard to transition into now what? My kids were grown, they were gone. And then realizing and seeing the duplicity that he was doing or had done during our marriage, the trauma really took a toll on me in so many different ways. And I look back now, I had, and I know I've shared this before, I've had a lot of illnesses. My immune system stunk. And other issues that are just disabled my body. But I really think that a lot of that was connected to my trauma, my body trying to recover, my body trying to heal. And I feel like health-wise, I'm probably getting on a really good system. I've learned what works for my body. I've also learned that with my healing, if I feel a certain fatigue come on, I know it's my body telling me you're going to crash and burn pretty soon if you do not take care of you. And that's usually when I'll spend like a Saturday or Sunday in bed, kind of just healing and letting myself rest. So I have spent this last journey probably since 2022 as Dina and I prepared for our journey with, at the time, was going to be the Matadors. I'm really past the healing part of my journey, and it's really good. And when I first separated from Rex and I was going through the process of a divorce, one of my sons kept telling me, "Mom, this is your time. You've raised 4 children. You've got a career. This is your time." But in the healing process, I didn't know what my time looked like. I didn't know what it should look like. And both Dina and I kind of divorced Rex during pretty much our midlife. So her journey looks so different than mine. And I'm glad her second marriage was much better than my second marriage, which was her first husband. But I'm now at the reinvention. Dina's at the reinvention. So when Dina and I first talked about closing our podcast of the Matadors at that time, because it kind of took a toll on us. You kind of relive the trauma, the drama, so to speak. But you have a heart knowing that there's a reason why you're here. And we had gotten so much feedback from so many people of telling us that we are exactly where God would want us. We were empowered to continue our journey with helping women notice those red flags in relationships, avoid the toxic relationships, how to, hopefully steps in healing from toxic relationships and so on. And we've been really humbled by people's support, words of encouragement. And if you're listening now and you are part of our audience and have been since the beginning, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you, and I know Dina does too. Your support, your giving us words of encouragement or thankfulness or feeling that hearing things that you don't feel alone anymore and you're not scared because it's a really lonely place to be. It's a really beautiful thing for Dina and I to experience on this journey. But we had also thought we were going to probably close this and then really open up our real heart and passion, which is where we are now, which is empowered midlife. And we thought that that's what we would do full time, but we're not. We're doing both. Empowered midlife has kind of taken the back seat, but yet it is kind of where our heart is. We want to have fun. We're letting our hair down. We're talking about health. We're talking about wellness. We talk about anything that pertains to midlife. And sometimes we're just going to be silly because, midlife, we got a lot of laughter to give. And our experiences, I think, give us a lot more things to put in that this is funny toolbox. But now I'm at a stage of my life. I work full time. I work in education. I'm a special education teacher. I work at a school that is about 228 days out of the year, which for those that are not in education, the average teacher is their contract is 180 days. So we work 12 months out of the year. I still get probably more days off than the average company or business. I'm very thankful for my job. And I knew that if I quit my job, that I would be leaving education in general, because I knew that my job now with education is a good fit for me, even with the long school years. It's a good fit, and the benefits are great, and so on. And the pay's great too. But this is deeper. Not only just write the book, we're starting groups next February, which Dina and I have been trying to start for the longest time, because we know there's something empowering about women coming together when they're reinventing or they're healing. And we want to offer that space for women to have a healthy healing journey with others that have been in the same place. And hopefully, eventually, we'd love to have some reinvention groups as well, because sometimes it's just not given enough time to give people just that exploration, especially when they've been working and they've been surviving. It's not as easy as some people would think. So I pretty much work an 8-hour day. So that doesn't include getting up, getting ready. And those of you that work full time, you get my drift. And then coming home, I pretty much come home, I get ready for a recording, whether we're going to be guests on other people's podcasts or we have guests coming on our podcast, or Dina and I even need to have business meetings, which sometimes gets phased out because we're so busy that I'm literally burning the candle at both ends sometimes, which doesn't help with my health. And that's why I have to preserve as much as I can on my weekends. But there's so much more I want to do, and I can't do it working full time as a teacher. And it's a little scary because I am 57, but I have circled a date on my calendar, a month, not a day yet, but a month, next September 2026, I plan to step out of my job. I have a lot to do. I have a lot of preparation to do to get me to that point. And it's a little scary because I am older. And there's a part of me that thinks, what in the world am I doing? But I can't burn the candles at both ends. And I can't quit one right now. I have to keep them both going. And sometimes I know we have a season that we are going to have to push ourselves in such a way that is like, how am I doing this? And we have to find those little self-care moments to help rejuvenate us so we can pick up and keep going. I do plan on leaving California as far as like officially in September, but I will always be coming back to California. I have kids here, I have adult children. I am actually on a quest, hopefully by next April. I know some of you are thinking, oh my goodness, is she crazy? Yeah, I'm probably crazy. I'm going to buy a van to live in, those camper vans. Some of them are really, really cool. And I'm going to explore because one of my most favorite things to do is to travel. I love to travel, and I will have to find many different ways, hopefully, to bring in an income that is realistic with what I want to do, and do my podcast from my van, because Starlink is a great thing that allows so much mobility and independence in today's world that it will allow me to continue on no matter where I am. But anyway, all that to say is there's a fear, not a fear. I don't like to use the word fear. There is a nervousness, there is an anxiety anytime that we make a major change in our life. And I'm at that point that I have to make that decision. And I felt led to share it publicly with those that really listen and follow along with us, those that are part of our family, because Dina and I, like I said, we love you guys very much. For anybody that's listening, you are our family. You are our community. And I felt like by doing this, it holds me more accountable, because some of you may not realize, but I've been kind of using an invisible pen, a erasable marker, to quit my job. And now I am talking about it openly because I feel like by doing that, I'm also making a statement that is very profound for me also, to make the changes that I need to make, take the steps, a lot of adjustments, a lot of new stuff on my horizon, and I need to be as prepared as possible. And it is, like I said, a little daunting. And on top of it, I'll get to do something I really love, not just travel, but to talk about it, which I'll do a lot of that in our Reinvention channel. I'm going to share my whole journey, just like Dina loves to share her health and wellness tips and tricks. I'm going to be sharing a lot about traveling, probably becoming a travel agent, which I used to be back in the day. I was a travel agent for a very short time. I ended up working for a major airline for a couple of years, loved it, loved the whole travel industry, but then I got pregnant and had a baby, and you don't really get to work decent hours. You work the evenings, you work the weekends, you miss a lot of holidays, especially when you're low on the totem pole. And I made that decision at that point. But it was something that I still love to this day. So what is it, 40-something years later? 30-something years later? Because my oldest son is almost 33. But that's my reinvention. It's being able to take this process and to be able to live a life that allow me to travel, hopefully be able to be the travel advisor, which used to be a travel agent, and be able to just do the things I enjoy, and then also feed more time into our Surviving Toxic Relationships platform, because I love it so much. And it's very exciting to see people heal. It's so exciting to walk beside people, and we embrace those that walk beside us. So, am I crazy? Probably. Yeah, I could be. But I have felt that this is the calling that the Lord wants me to do. And in it, it has actually helped lighten my emotional load, because I get up, go to work, I come home, I get ready to record. We record 1 or 2 sessions. We try to do, Facebook. We can't keep up with everything. But I look forward to just pouring my heart and soul into all of this and having the time to do that. That has been a little hard at this point. And like I said, I knew that if I quit this job, I would quit education in general. And education's been a good career for me. But I think I'm going on to the next step. And I am extremely excited, extremely nervous. And I just appreciate those that pray for me. I could use it. And just know that I appreciate you guys more and more every day. Thank you again, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.